For the longest time, I've been chasing financial abundance, thinking I had to earn more, do more, or be more to actually have it. Over the past 5 years since 2020, I've dabbled in several different businesses: dropshipping, online marketing, options trading, you name it. I've probably either tried it or at least looked into it. I was trying to manifest money thinking that's what I needed to be ready or feel secure. But it wasn't until 3 a.m. last night that I realized that the abundance that I had been asking for and seeking had already arrived in my life, just not how I expected it to. It came to me through my family. And this is something that's now shifting everything in my mind, bro. So I have to record this video. Let me take you back to 2013. Halloween Day 2013 was when me and my family moved to the United States. We moved from New Delhi, India to New York City, where we then started living with my grandparents in their two-bedroom apartment in Queens. So the six of us sharing the same apartment, one bathroom. My sister and I were sleeping on the floor for the first couple of months, and it was just a very chaotic time. And of course, my family didn't have a ton of money coming right in. My parents didn't even have jobs, like they were starting to look into it. And all that to say that I've definitely seen a period of time in my life that wasn't so financially easy, or some time where I had to be very conscious and mindful of expenses or buying things or doing things outside. And this is honestly a very typical reality for immigrants in New York, I would say, from my personal experience that I lived there for like 5 plus years. And you start working, or I started working internships and jobs when I was only like 14, trying out like different things, not just to build experience and skills, but also to just earn some extra pocket money so I wouldn't have to ask my parents for things. As I continued high school, then secured full tuition scholarship that was worth almost like 300K plus to go to a private institution for my undergrad. I continued to just learn and figure out different ways I could maybe make money on the side while still taking care of all like the full-time duties that I had, which at the time were school, academics, co-curriculars. My mindset behind wanting to make money really stemmed from two major sources. One being the conditioning that I kept receiving from self-help YouTubers at that time, that a man's worth is tied to money, status, and power in the current world that we live in. And those three things will also be the biggest factor in attracting what men want the most, and that's women. The second source was wanting to make money for helping my parents and my family so they don't have to worry about anything that's related to finances. I also saw like my grandparents work, or one of my grandparents at the time was also working a very like. Anyway, you know what? I'm not gonna get into that portion right now. I'm gonna skip that part. But those were some of the top reasons why I kept chasing money. Like it wasn't just for me, but also to one day support my parents. I really thought and believed that this financial abundance had to come through me. Like I had to be the one to provide that. And I think a lot of us just carry that same story, right? Where you're taught that your worth is measured in how much you can accomplish, how much you can perform, what we drive, who's our partner, who we attract, etc. Especially as men, we're taught to hustle, we're taught to chase, we're taught to conquer. Like those are some of the traits that are perceived as more valuable in men, or at least from the spaces online and my real world experiences so far. Last night, I was up to like 3 4 a.m. It was Saturday night. I wasn't out or anything. I was just at home spending time by myself, and unusual that I stay up this late, but sometimes it happens, and it happened to be that I came through this realization and then went down a whole rabbit hole of introspection and contemplation. I realized that the financial abundance that I've been seeking, trying to manifest in my life, trying to start these side hustles and side projects, this financial abundance had already entered my life recently through my parents and my sister. They've been working so hard over the past few years as well, like ever since we moved to the US. And since then, all three of them, my mom, my dad, my sister, have also had their own journeys of growth, figuring out their own path, trying out different things. And they've really set up some really good things for themselves, a couple businesses and everything like that. And I honestly have a hard time accepting help from my parents, especially since after we moved here, because they didn't have a lot to give. I understood that at a young age, so I tried my best not to ask, and that's what I learned in my developmental years and like growing up. So it's like something that now I'm unlearning. But yeah, no, they're doing really well for themselves. I didn't realize until recently, like financially speaking, my parents and my sister are like pretty good, and pretty balanced. But I wanted financial abundance through me so I could support them. But the universe delivered it in a very creative way, and it brought financial abundance to me through them, which is just so interesting. If you've been chasing something, money, status, success, I don't know, a good job, good grade, anything, consider asking yourself, is it already showing up in your life in a different form? It might be, and you just have to ask yourself this question and really zoom out to recognize that. Some of my learnings from this experience is, or abundance isn't always like money or cash in your hand, but just support, opportunity, time, energy. And since I'm in this privileged position, I have these things. So in a way, abundance has also just been there apart from financials. Another learning, like I mentioned, is I'm learning to allow abundance to flow to me and flow through me instead of resisting it just because it's coming from my parents or my family. Like, yeah, I really am privileged to have this kind of support, and that's why I've been grappling with whether I'm deluding myself into believing whether this is like universe delivering something I asked for in a creative way, or if it's actually true. Like, am I just clouding my privilege, or am I just seeing things for how they are? And this is the point where I have to remind myself that thankfully I've been on the other side. Like, I've seen the side where my family didn't have a lot of money and what that looks like, and I didn't have a lot of money and what that looks like, and what I learned from that time. What I also know is that for fucking sure, I'm a hard ass fucking worker. If I set my mind and my heart to something, I'm gonna make sure that I try my very fucking best to accomplish that or go after that thing. And that's that's like one thing I'm really proud of, because nobody can ever take that kind of trait away from me. Like, people can take your accomplishments, they can quote you, they can steal your content, like anyone, or copy your shit on exams or whatever. Like, all the material things that reside in this external world, people can take that away from you. But there's certain things like traits, beliefs, habits, things that you form within, that no matter what, no one can ever dispute them or take it away from you, because you have evidence for it. And for me, like, this YouTube channel is mere evidence of the hard work that I put in for the things that I actually want to do or enjoy working on. I could go back to my videos and see how my journey has transpired. I also know that I could be working a 6 figures plus job in industry right now if I really wanted to, because I was close to doing that at my last job, and that was like when I was doing the bare minimum. Like, imagine if I actually gave it like more than 100% at a tech job that I really enjoyed and wanted to do. I don't know, over the course of like a few years, like it's not hard to climb up the ladder in industry when you're there, you're showing up and you're working hard. But alignment matters so much more to me than just the paycheck. And that's why I'm in a PhD program. That's why I left my healthcare tech job to pursue science again. Because I want my life's work to reflect my internal truth and experience, not just money or transactions. I've been trying to build side income again. I created a whole course and tried or brainstormed like marketing strategies and such. But then I also like reflecting on that, I'm realizing like I don't want to do anything out of scarcity. Like I don't need to sell a course to make like a little bit of money on the side. Like sure, yes, I can do that and I can follow the steps for marketing, stick with it, stay consistent with it, that I know it's going to yield results if it's something that I put in time for. But that's not coming from a place of internal alignment from me. That's coming from a place of wanting to make more money, which is very different from the reasoning of why I make content, why I make videos, or even why I'd want to make a course to like help you. I want to keep deriving my actions from a place of alignment, from a place of self trust, self love, and yes, you can continue to follow like a set of instructions and do things in order to get that paycheck or in order to get some money. But personally, it's just boring for me and it doesn't intellectually stimulate me or satisfy me to the same extent that science does or research does. So what's next? Right now, PhD has got to be my top priority, and that's something that I'm going to continue to keep in mind as I move forward. YouTube is going to be my creative focus, so I want to continue creating videos from a place of reflection, introspection, and wanting to give you knowledge that I'm learning through my science projects, through my spiritual readings, my spiritual experiences, through meditation, journaling, speaking to other people. This science and spirituality intersection is where I want to live and what I want to share with you. To me, it feels like this is really where I belong right now. And I'm trying to learn to trust that that's enough. Like, if I can do really, really well in this small space, then that's okay. It doesn't have to be where I dabble in 20 different things, 30 different things, trying to figure each one out or trying to be the best at each of them. Abundance is a mindset. It's really an internal state of mind. It's how you view and express gratitude for what you already have. And as you focus more on what you have and express gratitude for it, life will continue to send more through your way. Abundance does not equate to external things, external material, objects, money, status, whatever. It really is an internal state of mind and how you feel internally. So if you're in that chasing phase, if you're wondering when your breakthrough is coming, let me offer you this. Take a moment, breathe, look around. If you have access to clean water, if you have access to food, if you have access to clothes and multiple clothes, like you can choose to wear what you want. If you have access to a comfortable bed, if you have access to some of your hobbies, if you have access to a computer, Wi-Fi, a phone, you're already so much more abundant than you think. And there may be more abundance in your life right now than you realize. What's meant for you is not going to pass you. So stay open, stay grounded, and trust that the delivery might not look how you imagined, but it will be exactly what you need. Keep your mind and your heart open to receiving, because many times God or the universe will deliver in very creative ways. That's a great place to wrap up the video. If you've stuck with me this far, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Let me know in the comments below if you started to reflect on or introspect on something as you continue to watch this video. And yeah, one of the last things I still want to say or reiterate is abundance is really an internal flow, internal state of being. And when you feel abundant within, your external reality is gonna have to match that, bro. Like, it won't have a choice. Your internal state is very much influencing your external reality. And the opposite in some way holds true as well, where the external reality can influence your internal state. However, that doesn't have to be the case. Like, you don't have to have all the things outside of you to feel abundant. Like, you can feel abundant and things could be going complete shit in your life. And I think that's when it's most powerful to practice that kind of mindset, to bring up the emotions of abundance and really expressing gratitude for what you already have. Because if you're able to maintain and hold this state of abundance, when things around you are indicative of something that's opposite or you perceive as opposite, that's when the powerful shifts internally occur that start to then align you with the actions that you take that will create the abundance that you genuinely desire in life. It may just not be in the ways that you expected to or wanted to show up. So, like I said, keep your mind and keep your heart open, and I will catch you in the next video.